James Water, and tonight in this matchup against the Winston-Salem Christian Lions and the Oak Level Baptist. The Conquerors are 3-8 going up against the Lions team of 6-5. And Caleb, there is nothing but action ahead of us on this road, which we have decided to take. Caleb, there is a lot going on. But before we even get into that, Caleb and I have had a little bit of problems trying to get some of the information from these websites and such. Caleb?
We have struggled, Parker, with rosters and stats, but we're going to bring you a great broadcast tonight brought to you by Triad Sports Coverage. Parker, let's get into the details.
Right.
So Winston-Salem Christian School, the Lions, are coming off a big win against probably their biggest rival, being the Hickory Christian Academy Knights. Last night had a 47-43 win over the Knights, which is a huge win for the Lions.
And Caleb, even before the matchup, Mike Pettaway, the man, the myth, the legend, he was even talking about how even in high school basketball, this is comparable to Carolina Duke. And you, of course, being a Tar Heel, that's saying something. It's not even a rival as much as it is a hatred, maybe even. It's crazy just the type of animosity. Is that a word? Animosity, the strife that goes against these two teams. And I actually have a good friend who goes to HCA, Hickory Christian Academy, and he's even, before all this has happened, been telling me a little bit about how much a rivalry is. So, Caleb, coming off a rival win like that, keep going, man.
Well, Parker, it's going to be huge for momentum for the Lions tonight. They're coming in, this is their home court here at College Park Baptist Church, and, they are coming off a big win. They've got the confidence, they've got the momentum, and that's going to be a huge factor for them today against the Conquerors.
Well, and as we look to home court advantage, as we look to it, as we speak, they're coming out right now of the locker rooms. One point that I want to make a little bit about the Conquerors tonight is they didn't start warming up until 6:20. And so we started this broadcast, and they were running in the gym, and they show up late. They didn't get here until 6:09, literally wrote it down to the exact spot. And then they just came out here, and they've gotten, they're doing some layup lanes. They did a little bit of shooting, a little bit of passing. But this team has had under 20 minutes by the time tip-off comes to warm up.
Right, and for those of you who are hoping to listen to the women's basketball game, that was canceled due to Burlington Christian not being able to make it. So you and I have been here for about, 2 hours,
right.
And Winston-Salem Christian School has been shooting around for probably about an hour and a half. They've been out here warming up, just fooling around, getting into the mood. They are much more ready for this game, Parker. That is evident in the way that they've warmed up. The Conquerors got here, as you said, about 20 minutes ago, and they're just now starting to warm up. And I think you're going to see that at the beginning of the game. I assume that Oak Level will come out pretty flat, a little bit cold,
right.
compared to the Lions, who have been out here warming up for more than an hour.
Right. And Caleb, something I want to say, I want to give the benefit of the doubt to the Conquerors. Let's hope they got lost. Let's hope that maybe the bus was having issues. I don't want to say this is, a describing fact of this team to show up late, get out here, and to be completely honest, just screwing around almost. That they didn't get here on time, and that usually gets paid for in the play. But let's hope this is not that team. We'd love to see a good matchup no matter whose side we're on, as always, sports fans, and as casters.
Right, and, that's not going to be a clear indication of how the game's going. But by looking at just the warm-ups, it seems that the Lions are going to be more into this game. And, Parker, speaking of the Lions, who are we looking to tonight?
Well, one huge thing we want to point out is Jordan Leak. In last night's game, he suffered an injury. And Caleb, tell me a little bit about that injury.
Right, so Jordan Leak, the senior guard, a big part of this team. He broke his ankle in 2 places last night against Hickory Christian. We were talking with Coach Joey McKinney before the game a couple minutes ago. Great guy, really, honestly. And he was telling us about, they had 5 guards in their on their bench, and after injuries and illness, they're down to 1 guard, 1 true point guard. And so Jordan's injury is going to be huge for this team as they're going forward. He was averaging 7.4 points a game, led the team, second on the team in steals with 2.3 steals a game. And so he was a big part of this team. And as a senior, he's a leader. So to have your senior leader go down with an injury like that, we saw him walk in. He's in a wheelchair now. He's in a cast, and he's going to have surgery on that in about a week.
And Caleb, something you're saying, he is a senior, he's a leader. Even if his statistics don't show it, when we saw him come in here with his crutches, immediately every player on this team stopped what they were doing, the whole Lions roster, and they came over and they hugged him, gave him a pat on the back, helped him get a chair to sit down. He's just a few feet to our right as we speak, and just saw his presence being known. And regardless of if they really need him on the court, they respect him and they look up to him. I think a lot of these players do. And so to see them be able to come out here tonight and him support his teammate, I know they're going to have something they're playing for. A lot of teams, they struggle. And you have to ask the question, what are you guys even out here for? Are you just playing because you enjoy it, or is there something driving you? And I think tonight, this game is dedicated to Jordan Leak.
Right, and in place of him, I think the Lions, Parker, are going to look to their best player being Jamal DeShields. He is leading the team in points per game, rebounds per game, and steals per game. He averages just over 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 2.4 steals a game. He really is their best player.
Right, and before this game, Mike was telling me a little bit about how something like last year, he averaged around 45 points per game. He just about has a dunk a game. You'll see it on a fast break. Multiple people have come up to me and said, hey, be watching out for Jamal. And when he dunks, go crazy. So I already got my catchphrase and all that stuff lined up for when he is yamming it and people are eating it up. So definitely be listening out for his name to be said.
And for the Oak Level Conquerors, they're going to be looking to rely on Dallas Gritton and Daniel Powers. They're two seniors. Powers is a 5'8" guard. Gritton is a 5'11" forward. Those are the only two seniors on the team, both starters. And the same situation with Jordan Leak. Whether or not these guys are the biggest point contributors to the team, having two seniors out there leading the team is monumental for the team, and they're going to be relying on them. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we will bring you back the action very soon.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
Hey, it's Big E, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western. We're Western.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
And we are back here live, ladies and gentlemen. Parker Southern alongside the future Hall of Famer broadcaster, Caleb James Waters. Caleb?
It's good to be here, Parker. Good to be calling this game with you.
As always, and we are about a minute and 10 seconds out from the horn sounding and this game getting underway. Again, we are here from College Park Baptist Church. It's a beautiful court here tonight. I say, correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb, maybe 40 people?
40, 50, a pretty good turnout. Looks like a pretty pro-Lions crowd out here, Parker.
Right, for sure. And as we speak right now, both teams warming up a little bit. Caleb and I hit on this a little bit before, and definitely something we're going to be looking into tonight. The Lions got here about an hour and a half before the game, and they've been shooting around, they've been practicing, get to start off loose and come in and make it known they're here, just get a good all-around warm-up. And at 6:09, Caleb and I, we come on in about 10 minutes before the game. 6:09, they haven't even shown up yet, Caleb, and they show up kind of about 3 or 4 of them coming in, and we're all sitting here like, are we going to play the game? What's going to go on? And they did show up finally, had about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less of warm-up. So, Caleb, I think we're about to do the starting lineup tonight for both teams.
Yeah, we'll get started with the Winston-Salem Christian School lineups right after a short prayer.
God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for these two teams. We thank you for the gift of athleticism. God, I pray that it
All right, so we'll start with the Winston-Salem Christian School Lions starting lineup. At the guard position, number 3, senior Jamal DeShields. We also have Landon Burton, a senior, Trey Dennis, a junior, Jacob Brown, a sophomore, and Samuel Reams getting the start tonight in place of the injured Jordan Leak, and he is a freshman.
Right, and Caleb, that's going to be an absolutely versatile position to fill because, as we've said, Jordan Leak he's a leader on this team. A lot by age, but also it sounds like by his playing ability. So moving over to the Oak Level Baptist Academy Conquerors, who are 3-8, and might I add, they're 0-3 in their conference. Tonight's starters, two of which you've already mentioned, both seniors. Daniel Powers, a 12th grader. Dallas Gritton, a 12th grader as well. Make sure to be listening for them. We also have Trey Abel, who is a junior. And then we have Darden Yuri, who is a sophomore. And then followed by a final sophomore forward, Cole Walker, who is also a sophomore.
And so for these two teams, like we mentioned, Jamal DeShields is going to be the player to look for the Lions. Definitely a team leader in terms of points, rebounds, steals per game. And then for the Conquerors, you're going to look at their senior leaders to lead them out on the court and vocally. But Parker, looking at the Lions versus the Conquerors, the Lions have a lot more size, and that's going to come into play down in the paint, in rebounding, in defense, especially down low, getting blocks. What do the Conquerors need to do to combat the height of the Lions?
Well, a lot of that is aggression, and I've used this phrase before where if height and size was what mattered, the elephant would be the king of the jungle, right? And he's most certainly not. It is the lion, and not to be analogy.
Oh, the Lions are the king of this jungle.
Not with the Lions. Conquerors, Lions, it goes hands in hand. We'll see how that works. But anyway, to answer your question, they got to play tough. They got to play with heart, and they have to play strong. Down under the basket, you can body people up. And as Mike was even saying, number 4, Robert Willard, he's a junior, and he's obviously the biggest player on their team. Excuse me. Number 14, Jacob Brown. He is obviously the biggest player on this team. And Mike was saying, I think if he's soaking wet and has 2 5-pound weights in his hand, he weighs over 100 pounds. And he's joking, of course, but you can be tall and it can be big, whatever you want to call it. But if you're not strong, if you can't body down on the paint, it really doesn't matter.
Right, and we'll see that here on the tip, as Brown will be tipping off against the Conquerors. Looks like Trey Abel. As the ref there is asking the cheerleaders to back up from the court, a little interference. We are coming to you live from College Park Baptist Church here in Winston-Salem as the tip is about to be thrown. And that ball is recovered by the Oak Level Baptist Conquerors as Darden Yuri brings it up court. Finds Daniel Powers. Powers cutting in the lane. Dallas Gritton, the senior guard, has it. Now it's back up top to Powers. Almost a steal there for the Lions. Yuri stolen by number 13, Trey Dennis. And a great pass ahead to number 14, Jacob Brown. Lions up 2-0.
And Caleb, that right there is going to be a matchup to notice.
Another steal by the Lions. Great pass from Trey Dennis to Jamal DeShields. That's 2 assists early for Trey Shields. And there is an injured Conqueror down on the court.
But Caleb, as I was saying, a huge matchup going to be, no pun intended there, huge, is going to be against number 14 for the Lions, Jacob Brown, and number 32, Trey Abel, for the Conquerors, because Jordan Brown has about 6 inches on Trey Abel, on Jacob Brown. But, for the Lions, he's not only tall, but he's also fast and athletic. And that's a deadly weapon. That's like a Kevin Durant type, LeBron James, where you have the height and you have the size, but you also have the speed and athleticism. It's going to make a difference.
The Lions have jumped out to an early 4-point lead as they go into a full court press. A great down court pass to number 32, Trey Abel. That matchup that you were talking about, guarded by DeShields. Ball's back up top to Justin Flint, who's subbed in for the injury. And Jacob Brown, a big steal down low. He gets the ball to DeShields, who kicks it out wide to Samuel Reams, the freshman who's starting in place of Jordan Lee. And he knocks that one down.
Making
7-0.
His name known already. This game is not starting well for the Conquerors.
And we talked about that Oak Level probably wouldn't jump out to a quick lead because of the way they warmed up. And we're seeing that here as the Lions have jumped out to an early 7-point lead. A good look there for number 32, Trey Abel. A good thought just off the mark, and it's going to be Lions ball coming right to left.
And Caleb, you and I have talked a lot about this with some Salem basketball, where it looked like he had a good look, but it may have been low percentage. It was an over-the-shoulder pass, really quick, sort of at his feet, and that's going to be a hard pass to catch.
And Trey Dennis finds an open Jamal DeShields. His three is off the back of the rim, and it's rebounds Oak Level Baptist. Oak Level calling an early timeout here. 6:16 left to go in the first quarter. Lions up 7-0. Parker, what did we see in that first minute 45?
Caleb, we saw one team who came here and was ready to play basketball, and we saw one team that was just not ready to play basketball at all. I mean, quite frankly, and if you didn't know, now you know. I had to put that in there. Anyway, but, I mean, that was, I'm not going to lie, that was pretty pathetic by the Conquerors. They came out here and they were playing about maybe 60%, and it looked like their passes were off. Their plays were off. There was just not really much rush on defense either.
It seems like they're a little out of focus. And we saw, Trey Dennis and big plays from Trey Dennis and Jamal DeShields, who we expected, but a big three from the freshman Samuel Reams, a good way to start off his start here in place of Jordan Leak. As Justin Flint has at the top of the key, he finds Cole Walker, and Walker finds Darden, who gives it off to number 22, Karan Kimple, for the Oak Level Baptist first bucket of the game. And Jacob Brown is fouled as he drives in.
And Caleb, an interesting thing to point out, that Jamal is actually under the basket. It looks like he's playing the center position, where Brown is maybe a small forward or a power forward, one of the two, which is very interesting to me, obviously, because Brown has a lot more height, but Jamal seems to be obviously the more athletic player.
Much stronger player, and I think that's why they've got him down low at center. As DeShields finds Brown at the top of the key. A pull-up jumper from the free throw line. That's good. As the Conquerors inbound the ball, it's going to be number 1, Justin Flint, the sophomore, bringing the ball up the court for the Conquerors. He kicks it out left to Daniel Powers, whose pass is off the mark, trying to find the senior Dallas Gritton there over on the other side.
And Caleb, that's 2 passes already here, with only a couple minutes into the game. Already a ray.
And Trey Dennis looked to find Landon Burton, who had an open layup, but a good follow by Dennis on the miss. And it is 11-2 Lions, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. As number 5, Cole Walker has it in the corner, splits the trap, finds Dallas Gritton down low. He got a shot over the block of Brown. And there's a foul call down underneath the hoop. And that's going to be on number 25, Dallas Gritton, the senior.
And Caleb, the Lions guards are playing extraordinary defense tonight. They've barely gotten inside the arch with the ball, and when it has, we've seen 2 turnover passes already where the guards are playing so low, so quick, and they're double teaming every now and then, and that's giving the Conquerors really no options to pass down low.
As Trey Dennis has a good drive, a good look there. His layup was off the backboard, and the Conquerors come down with the rebound. Daniel Powers finds Gritton down low. His pass is almost taken away. The Lions are going with a half-court trap here, but the Conquerors are able to break it. As Cole Walker pretty easily beats Jamal DeShields on that. Poor defense from DeShields. He goes up for the shot and gets fouled.
Yeah, right there we saw good sportsmanship. Something you always got to know when you see it. Jamal DeShields knocked down number 5.
That's Cole Walker.
Cole Walker, yeah, and he immediately, the first thing he did was help him out, and that's, you'd love to see that, but here's 2 free throws for Walker. And you could literally hear a pin drop in here. Wow, that was quiet.
Parker, it is quiet in here, mostly because most of the fans are Lions fans. As Walker makes his first free throw, 11-3 Lions lead with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first quarter. A strong rebound from Brown as he dishes to Trey Dennis. Dennis pushing the ball fast. And a good look. They find Samuel Reams down low. His shot's off the mark, but he gets his own rebound. Kicks it out to Jacob Brown on the wing. He wants a 3. He's not going to do it. Parker, maybe a little bit too much there. He's trying to go fancy crossover on the baseline, and he loses the ball out of bounds.
That's one of those positions where you just gotta pass the ball around, get the open shot. Don't try to force something when you don't have it. And okay, another thing to note, Brown, he's gonna dominate on the boards tonight. We've already seen. I'm pretty sure he's gotten every single defensive rebound for the Lions.
As Darden Uri brings it up court for the Conquerors, he finds Justin Flint on the far side. A great steal there from Landon Burton. But the Conquerors bring it down as number 25, Dallas Gritton, recovers the ball and is fouled going up for a shot.
And Joseph Hedges and Robert Willard have now entered in the game. They're seeing their first minutes tonight.
Yeah, Willard, a junior guard, came in for Trey Dennis. And Dallas Gritton's first free throw is off the rim and out.
And Caleb, I can only imagine this must be one of the schools where cheering against the other team is completely unallowed, because this is the Conquerors taking these free throws, and there's literally no noise. I mean, it is literally dead silent.
As Yuri finds Flint at the top of the key, he dishes wide to Gritton, back to Flint, back to Yuri. And Yuri finds Trey Abel down low. Foul on the floor on the Lions. That's a second foul on number 11, Josh Hedges, who subbed in. Now number 32, Madison Norwood, and Trey Dennis subbing in for the Lions as Jacob Brown comes out. And the Conquerors inbound the ball under their own basket. Get at the top of the key. And a great three there from Darden Yuri. Came off an off-ball screen, open in the corner, and he nailed it.
And that was the first look from three tonight for the Conquerors, and if they can keep it up like that was a great look, great pass, great fake by the whole team. 3 points on the board there for them.
A drive from Dennis. He kicks it out to Willard. Finds Jamal DeShields down low, and one for DeShields.
And Caleb, right there, we just saw his athleticism. I don't know that there's anyone on the Conquerors team that's really going to give him a hard time tonight.
Well, and it's his athleticism combined with his strength, Parker. He is the second tallest guy out here for the Lions, but he's got to be the strongest. And he just put a body on a guy and said, I'm going to the hoop, and he did.
And nailed that extra point there, and that gave him the 3-point play. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Lions 14, Conquerors 6.
As the sophomore Yuri brings up court, finds Cole Walker on the wing closest to us. Ball's back up top to Yuri. Trey Dennis playing incredibly tight defense there on Yuri. And a good rebound as Yuri drives in. His layup's off the mark, and DeShields comes down with it. Trey Dennis with a full court pass that's defended well by the Conquerors. It's out of bounds. Lions ball underneath their own basket.
And right there, we actually saw a great look by the Conquerors trying to get the ball down low, and just a good defensive stand. But he had a good look.
As Norwood is cutting in the lane, his layup's off the mark. Rebound there by Josh Hedges. Putback is good. 10-point lead for the Lions with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Parker, we're seeing a lot of Darden Yuri here, the sophomore, bringing the ball up the court for the Conquerors. As he finds Cole Walker on the wing, it's going to be a foul on number 11, Josh Hedges. That's got to be his third already.
Yeah, and from Yuri, we're seeing a lot of confidence, I think is a good word. I don't think he's fazed by the height or the size or anything like that, but rather he's just playing strong. He's playing his game, and I know that's what the coach is excited to see. And it looks like they're doing some type of stack here.
Stack on the inbounds. That is 3 on Josh Hedges, the junior. So Samuel Reams, the freshman, comes in for him. And that's going to be a foul called on number 32, Madison Norwood. That's his first action of the game, as the Conquerors inbound the ball from beneath their own basket. That is, again, Yuri with the ball. Looking, and he finds an open Trey Abel, who gets a good look. He's got 2 points.
And right there we saw seniority. I don't think there's any way to say it. Great look, great pass, and great finish. That's just right there is experience and skill.
And Reams, the freshman, with a good look from 3. His shot's off the mark. And his rebound conquers as Yuri pushing the ball. Well defended by Dennis. He knocked the ball away, but it's going to be Conqueror's ball.
And that shot was like a Jimmer Fredette shot. He was about 3 yards outside that the 3-point. Let me say 2 yards. He's not 3 yards outside the line.
Hey, but he's hot. He's a freshman. He's feeling it in this start today. So
trying to make his name known, if nothing else.
It's a backcourt violation on the inbounds for the Conquerors, as number 20, Daniel Powers, was calling for it. Didn't realize he was on the other side of that line. Now it's going to be Lions ball, as Dennis has it at the top of the key. You can hear Coach Joey McKinney calling out the plays from the sidelines. And Dennis with an open look for 3. A high bounce off the rim, and that ball is going to be out of bounds off the back of the backboard. A good look for Dennis, but a little bit too much on that shot as the Conquerors bring it the other way now. Again, Darden Uri. You're going to be hearing that name a lot tonight, it appears, for the Conquerors at the point guard position. He finds Cole Walker on the right. He finds Trey Abel at the top of the key. He dishes wide to Daniel Powers, one of the other seniors on this team. And Uri now has it at the top of the key. Finds Gritton for a long two. His shot's off the mark, and the freshman Reams comes down with the board. He finds Dennis, who's got his eyes up court. Looking at the junior Willard, chooses instead to go with Burton. Good cross-court pass there from Dennis. Looks like the Lions are trying to get the ball inside as Burton, a nice drive and a nice left-handed layup for Landon Burton, who averages about 4.3 points a game.
Caleb, and Landon Burton, Mike told us about before the game that he was going to be a presence.
And a great steal there from Reams. A good bounce pass in the lane to Dennis. And that's a quick 4 points for the Lions, 20-8 with 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter as Uri brings the ball up and finds Walker. He's practically standing at our table right here on the right side of the sidelines. He finds Uri, who's driving. And a fadeaway attempt from Walker is going to be off the backboard as time expires in the first quarter. Parker, a big lead for the Lions, 20-8.
Caleb, some of the things I just noted right here, turnovers. The Conquerors have had 6 turnovers already, whether it was a bad pass, just a messed up play, or simply a takeaway. And that's something you have to notice. And those turnovers, I'm pretty sure, except for one, they have all converted into points, the Lions have. And you look at that as well as Trey Dennis for the Lions. He's playing lockdown D on Uri. He is saying, hey, I'm going to let you bring it out here, but I'm locking down D underneath. And he's got a couple assists, I think, but, you know, Dennis is playing strong defense as well as rebounds, both offensively and defensively. The Lions are absolutely dominating. And I don't think there's any way around that.
And one of the things that I've been noticing is the Lions are pushing the pace a lot more than the Conquerors are. You know, you see every time the Lions inbound the ball after a bucket or even, you know, off of a fast break, they're pushing the ball, pushing the tempo every single time. And, you know, the Conquerors just seem like they're not ready to play this kind of quick-paced game against a strong offense like the Lions. And, you know, that's why the Lions put up 20 points here in the first quarter.
And, Caleb, you talk about them pushing the offense. I think they are, but I think they're doing so in a good way. They're not rushing it. And they're not going too hard.
That's a great point to make. There's a difference between, you know, speed and rushing the ball and being clumsy. As Landon Burton takes control of the point guard position. The senior there calling out plays. Finds Dennis on the wing. A big cross-court pass to Willard. They're swinging the ball now. As Coach Joey McKinney of the Lions called a timeout. No good looks down low. They were just swinging the ball around the top of the arc. Weren't able to get anything down low. And Coach McKinney doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to call a timeout.
Caleb, and that's a play right there that you see a lot of teams use where they're just trying to create options. Maybe do it quick enough where the defense can't respond, or you just start seeing them go hands to knees where they're breathing heavy, they're panting, things like that. And I think they were looking for it, didn't find it, but I think we're going to see more of that tonight because the Lions' offense is high octane. And I don't think, I mean, obviously 20-8 in the second quarter here. I don't think the Conquerors' defense is ready for them.
Well, and Parker, one note to make is that the Conquerors switched to a zone defense after going man-to-man almost the whole first quarter. Coming out of that the second quarter break, they did go man-to-man, and that was what I think maybe flustered the Lions a little bit. They hadn't seen that yet from the Conquerors. And so going zone, you know, the Lions weren't able to get anything down low. And I think that's what Coach McKinney was calling a timeout for, just to be able to reset his offense against the zone defense.
Right, and I think that man/zone is going to be an issue for the Conquerors either way because with players like Jamal and with Brown, their jump shot is simply just higher than any player on that team, and it's virtually unguardable.
As Dennis has it at the top of the key, finds Burton, Reams from the corner. His three is an air ball.
Uh-oh.
Maybe a little bit too much freshman confidence there from Reams. As Uri brings the ball up court for the Conquerors. Great passing there from the Conquerors as a skip pass from Trey Abel to Dallas Gritton is good for 2 points. Reams again from the corner, this time opts to find Dennis at the top of the key. Swing it wide to Brown, who kicks it back to Burton. Wide to Dennis. Still throwing the ball around the top of the key as Burton with a strong drive, a good look, shots off the mark, and the Conquerors come down with it. A good strong rebound there from junior Trey Abel. And now Cole Walker has it on the near side as he is guarded by freshman Samuel Reams. And Brown and Abel battling it out there at the top of the key. Another great find as Walker cuts, gets the ball just off the left side of the lane, and a good shot for him as the Oak Level Baptist Conquerors have now scored 4 straight, and it's 20-12 with 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Caleb, I think you can contribute a little bit of that to the zone offense, the zone defense, because it seems to be shutting down their options.
As Dennis finds Reams in the corner. This time it's good for 3. That's his second 3 of the game. And Dennis has had at least 4 assists here today. I think that might have been his 4th. Good defense again from Brown as Yuri tried to find Abel down low. But the Conquerors do recover the ball. It's going to be a foul on number 13, Trey Dennis.
Caleb, one thing I want to note about Jamal DeShields, I think he's ready for the next level. I think he's got some potential, from what I'm looking here. Let's even use the word college basketball, hopefully Division I. But one thing I think he needs to fix if he wants to make it to the next level is his defense. Because watching him right here, he's got about 3 inches on any Conqueror player, and we really haven't seen him make a firm stand yet on defense. And that's so important.
And you've got the point guard, Trey Dennis, who's about 5'6", 5'7" maybe. He's playing lockdown D on everybody who comes at him. Whereas DeShields, maybe it's because he doesn't need to. Maybe it's because he's just being lazy right now. He doesn't seem to be playing very tight defense. As Dennis has it at the top of the key, looks right and finds Brown open for 3. He's fouled on the 3-point play by Darden Uri, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 3 foul shots with the lines up 10, 23-13, with 5.5 to go here in the second quarter.
Hey, Caleb, there was a little bit of a scuffle there. Uri doesn't seem to like it very much. Uri was trying to help Brown get up, and he didn't want to have any of it. Shoved him right off, and Uri, the sophomore PG, is not happy with it. He's shaking his head, looking at the audience. I don't think he's having a good night right now.
Well, a disputable call there on the 3 as Brown makes the second of 2. It's going to be his final shot coming up. Parker, that was a defensive mismatch there from the Conquerors, and that was why Brown had the open shot. They're going to look to correct that. As he misses his third, a battle for the rebound, and the ball is out of bounds. It's going to be Conquerors' ball.
And Mason Gore is seeing a first of his minutes tonight, trying to guard Uri.
Yeah, Mason Gore has played in 9 games this season. He's a freshman guard, playing strong defense there on Uri. As Uri finds Walker, a strong drive, but a good rebound from Jamal DeShields. Jamal finds Trey Dennis, who's signaling out the play call from the top of the key now. Finds DeShields down low. Parker, there it is again, the strength. As he goes up, misses his shot. Goes up again after a rebound, misses a shot. It goes up for the 3rd time and is fouled.
Wow. And right there it was an offensive machine. Going up, as you said, got his own rebound off the first shot, but then did it twice more and finally got fouled. He has a chance for 2 with 4 minutes, 55 seconds left in the second quarter. Lions lead 25, Conquerors trail 13.
As DeShield makes the first of his 2 free throws, Parker, if the shot's not falling for you, got to create more shots, and that's exactly what DeShields did there. Missed the first, got his rebound. Missed the second, got another rebound, and then got fouled. And, either way, he's going to the line. He's getting points. As he makes the second of both free throws, same result there, 2 points for the Lions. So a great offensive effort there from DeShields. As it's now Flint who has at the top of the key. Finds Abel down low. Kicks back out to Flint. And he finds Uri now, who steps out of bounds. Strong defense from Mason Gore. He's getting a big applause from the bench there. The freshman being defensively active out there.
Right. And I think whatever the Conquerors did there for about 3 minutes started to produce some fruit, and then it's kind of gone away as it's 25-13 still here.
As Dennis looks to find DeShields down low. That's going to be a foul on number 5, Cole Walker, the sophomore. Again, just a mismatch there as Walker's only about 5'11", the Shields 6'1", 6'2". Parker, as you said, no one from the Conquerors can guard the Shields, and offensively he's just able to do whatever he wants, really. As Dennis in the corner finds Mason Gore up at the top of the key, and he travels on his first step
Yeah,
there.
I was trying to see that play. I didn't see the travel. Not for me to call. We had ref Mike over here. He'd run to his car and get the whistle because he was not liking a lot of those calls.
Yuri pushes the ball hard, guarded by Mason Gore. That's going to be a foul called on Gore, his first of the game.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like he was going for a little bit of payback right there because he's running right at Brown, hoping to get a chance there for maybe a three-point play with the and one, but the ball was poked away with a foul, and now he has 2 shots. Excuse me, 1 and 1.
That was a 17 foul for the Lions as Yuri makes the first of a 1 and 1. Parker, Yuri today has been a big presence for the Conquerors. Down low, Trey Abel's been a big figure, but Yuri seems to be taking a commanding position on this team. Taking the ball every single time, calling out orders right now. You see he's yelling at his teammates. He's only a sophomore, so that's good to see some leadership from a younger guy. As Trey Dennis calling Jamal DeShields off the ball. He wants to take Yuri one-on-one. DeShields thought about pulling up from about a couple steps inside half, but elects to find number 10, Logan Burton, the twin brother of Landon Burton. His shot's off the mark, and it's rebound Conquerors. As Jordan Flint drives, kicks it out to Dallas Gritton, the senior. His 3 is off the mark. It's going to be Lions ball going the other way.
Right, and Caleb, we haven't really seen much of the seniors tonight, Dallas Gritton or Daniel Powers. I think we may have, seen a couple efforts at defensive stands, but they're not the dominant players tonight, and I think you and I thought they might be coming into this game, just given their past reputation and simply the 12th grade, beside their name.
What a big mismatch there as Justin Flint, the 10th grader, 5'7", is guarding the giant Jamal DeShields. And a bucket there for the Lions as they go up 29-15 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the second quarter. Justin Flint loses it as Gritton picks it up, though. It's going to be a foul on the Lions. Ball out of bounds as Yuri's going to inbound the ball from underneath his own basket. Excuse me, not a foul, Parker, just out of bounds there. Yuri slaps the ball looking. Great off-the-ball screen to find Walker in the corner. He's guarded heavily by Mason Gore. As Yuri down low is guarded by the much taller Jacob Brown. Jacob Brown with an easy rebound there. And he finds Dennis. Dennis back to Brown on the left side of the key. Down low to DeShields. Shots off the mark, gets his own rebound, and he puts it back for 2. And we've seen that over and over where he misses his shot and just gets the rebound because he's so much stronger than anybody else.
And Caleb, I think that's going to be great where we are right now in high school basketball, but you don't get that many rebounds in college, no matter what level you're playing. And I think Jamal would love to be able to be making those shots because he'll have those looks. He'll be able to get down on the basket like that, but to be able to take 3, 2, efforts up there and get his own rebound each time, it's impractical.
Well, as the Conquerors call a 30-second timeout, Parker, for the Lions, they are up by 16 at this point. But right now what's working for them is finding Jamal DeShields down low. Even if he's missing his first, his second shot, he's still getting strong boards every single time. And, they just got to keep feeding him the ball. If he's hot, he's got strength and size on basically everybody on this team.
And I think to go hand in hand with him would be Jacob Brown as well, where we've seen him do 3 or 4 really good hook shots as well down under. And it's just a dominating presence.
As the Lion crowd getting into it a little bit here. Flint has it on the far side, finds Yuri at the top of the key. Mason Gore playing aggressive defense on Yuri, as he goes in for a layup. The shot's off the mark. And it's a rebound by Logan Burton, the senior. Pushes it ahead to Mason Gore. Gore finds DeShields as he goes in for an easy left-handed layup. And a great find there by Gore, the freshman. Now Justin Flint bringing it up court for the Conquerors. Strong drive there. Dishes it out to the senior Gritton, who looks to find Yuri. His 3 is off the mark. A strong rebound from Burton. And a kick ahead to DeShields. Back to Burton down low. 2 points for Logan Burton. as the Lions take a 20-point lead with a minute and 38 left to go in the second quarter.
Caleb, the fans are very excited. One in particular is screaming over there. He is loving him some Lions basketball.
And a great drive there from Justin Flint to find Trey Abel for 2 points. The Lions crowd is getting into this game right now, Parker. As Robert Willard, the junior, taking the ball up court, finds Gore on the far side. As Logan Burton brings down the rebound. A jump ball there underneath the hoop. Possession arrow goes to the Conquerors.
And with a minute and 10 seconds left, the Lions still lead the Conquerors 35-17. And I think that score absolutely, of course, says what this play's been like, where it has really been a dominating first half, where I think the Conquerors have put up 4 or 6 chances that we could see them as a team that could play competitively against the Lions, but overall, it has not been their half.
As senior Dallas Britton has it on the far side, finds Yuri at the top of the key. Yuri kicks it out to Justin Flint, a strong move in the lane. His layup's off the mark, and Logan Burton comes down with a rebound. Finds Mason Gore, the freshman, as he's pushing it. Looks and finds Willard on the far side. Strong rebound there from Burton. He loses it, but Gore picks it up on the left side of the arc. Strong kick out to Willard. He takes a couple seconds. He read an article in the newspaper there. He had enough time. And he took the three. His shot's off the mark. Conquerors rebound with 22 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Yuri has it now at the top of the key. Calling out commands as Mason Gore is all over him. Strong defense from Gore as he goes to the loose ball. And Yuri is called for the foul. And Parker, these coaches are pushing Mason Gore on defense. They're yelling at him every time he gets in Yuri's face. They're encouraging him, telling him to just be scrappy. And Parker, we've seen that from him.
We have, and there's a lot of fights in this game. Though if I didn't know better, I would say this is some type of rivalry. You know, with the Yuri and the Brown incident, and now a little bit with Mason as well. And it's very interesting. There's some scrappy play going on.
As Mason Gore will go to the line to shoot 1-1. Parker, a great defensive effort there from the freshman. As he a little too strong on that first free throw.
Right,
off the back. 3 seconds now. A steal from Gore. A half-court heave that hits the net as all of his teammates wanted to see that ball go in. Parker, we go into halftime with the Winston-Salem Christian Lions up big, 35-17 on Oak Level Baptist Conquerors.
Yeah, and Caleb, one of the main things I saw that was a great example of how this half has been so far. Brown, at the second the three was up in the air, you saw him out in the corner, and he wasn't taking the three. He was completely out of the play. But when the three went up in the air, he immediately ran to the basket, and he was going to get the rebound. And that's what it's about, where you're not ball watching. You know, you're not stepping back saying, hey, my friend, the freshman over here, let him take the free. Let him take the three, and then I'll just sort of chill out. If he makes it, great. If he doesn't, we haven't really lost anything. But that's been descriptive of their play tonight, where you see him take this three, and he immediately runs in to help his teammate out. And that's exactly, what the Lions have done all night.
Well, and that was when Willard was at the top of the key, just completely open. No one was around him. And he looked at Brown, kind of waved him off, and then just went for it and took the shot. And it wasn't missed. But as you said, a strong effort there from Brown as he goes in for the rebound. And that's sort of the effort we've seen all day from the Lions. They're just, they're not going to let the Conquerors out-hustle them.
Right. And again, use the exact same example where he had a wide-open three. He had the opportunity to look over at Brown and say, let me think. Should I? No. Okay, no, I'm going to take the three. I mean, he had so much time. And it doesn't matter who the player is. You cannot give them that much time. And, that's why it's 35-17, because they've really just dominated on offense as well as defense tonight. With Brown, I'd love to see his statistics. I'm sure he has at least 10 rebounds already this game, as well as probably 10 points.
And we're going to cut to a quick commercial break here. We've got about 6 minutes remaining in halftime. We'll be back to you live from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Hey, it's Biggie, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions, Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western, we're Bestern.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your bibs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at bibsdowntown.com.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
And we are back live here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at College Park Baptist Church, where the Winston-Salem Christian School Lions are up 35-17 on the Oak Level Baptist Academy Conquerors.
Caleb, there is some form of wave being attempted right now. As I said earlier, there's, if you want to give it a stretch, there's maybe 50 people here if you count some of the cheerleaders. And there is a nice little wave starting at the student section, sort of just going right across. And, they're having, here it comes back again.
And there's maybe a small crowd here, but they're definitely into it here in College Park Baptist Church. Parker, as we look at the stats from the first half, one thing I want to take note of is the rebounding. A lot of rebounds, 5 rebounds from Jamal DeShields, 5 rebounds from Logan Burton, the senior there, and 3 rebounds for Jacob Brown.
Right.
That's a combined 13 rebounds for just those 3 guys right there. And you look at it, and that's just straight out hustling the Conquerors, They want this game more, it seems, than the Conquerors do, and they are showing that through their rebounding.
And as we said at the beginning, I don't know if there's any way you can't contribute this to the warm-up. And I know we said this like 2 or 3 times now, but, less than 15 minutes before the game, the Conquerors were not even on the court yet. They had not even touched a basketball. And the Lions have been here for an hour and a half before the game. And so we see that, and I just think they're ready. I think they want it, and I'll be curious to see if the second half is any different because the Conquerors have warmed up. Where this game is not out of reach yet. Only 35-17. We are about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half. But, Caleb, what are some highlights you've seen so far from the Lions that you think they need to keep doing in order to maintain the successful drive that they are having?
Well, they've had strong defense from a lot of different players. The freshman Mason Gore came in, and the coach was just pushing him to have really strong defense. Not a lot of offensive contribution from him, but he's in everybody's face, scrounging for every loose ball. He's on the floor a lot. And you see the same thing from, Trey Dennis, the junior guard who started the game. You see the same thing from Logan Burton and his twin brother, Jacob Burton. Landon Burton, excuse me. Jacob Brown, Landon Burton, a lot of B's there. And anyway, the defense is what I think is the key difference.
Right.
Because, Oak Level came out. At first they had a lot of turnovers. A lot of errant passes, and that was contributed to just aggressive defense from the Lions. Parker, one thing I want to note is we have the athletic director statistics here from Winston-Salem Christian. They don't keep track of points. I think that says something.
Right.
They're not concerned about who's got the most points. They're concerned about rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, those other stats that contribute to the win and not just points. I think that's interesting that they choose to do that. It's not about who's getting the recognition. It's about a team win. I think that's interesting.
I think that's a really, really good point to make where, even though points are the most flashy, it's like anything else, like an assist. Look at Chris Paul and State Farm. Assist is what matters. Cliff Paul, excuse me. Wrong name there. But you get what I'm saying where you're right, rebounds and such is a huge thing. And so moving on over to the Conquerors, they have a lot to improve. I don't know that we could say there's one thing that they need to get back into this game, but I think, number one, they've got to shut down Jamal as well as Brown. Those 2 guys have really been dominating both on rebounds as well as scoring from the little bit we have gotten to see of both of them, simply with their size and with Jamal DeShields, his strength. I mean, there's no way to outmatch it. So I think that matchup is going to be very important tonight, trying to shut those guys down as we head into the second half with just under a minute to go until tip-off, until pass-in, whatever you want to call. But they're going to have to just up their defense.
And one of the strengths of the Conquerors in that first half, first two quarters, was their passing. Led by the point guard, Darden Uri. He really was finding open looks. He was finding Trey Abel down low. He was finding Gritton on the wing. And so if they can continue to pass the ball well, they're going to be able to have some offensive production. But that is in the face of a strong defense from the Lions. As we get started here for the third quarter, the Shields inbounds the ball to Trey Dennis, the junior, averages 3.5 assists per game. We see second half, Mason Gore gets the start, the freshman, for his defensive effort. And a good open look from three there off the back of the iron, and a strong rebound from Dallas Gritton. As the Conquerors are coming right to left now, as Uri calling out plays guarded by Gore. Uri finds Walker on the far wing. No options for Walker. And a steal there from Trey Dennis. And a scrum for the ball on the floor. Of course, it's Mason Gore and Darden Uri there, two of the most aggressive players on the court that are both there on the floor, as the Conquerors seem to lose it. But it's possession arrow Conquerors, so they're going to get the ball back.
Kevin, I think a focus is one of the words I would use to describe the Lions so far this game, where they're here to play, and they're not here to do anything else. They're here to play, and they're here to focus. And I think they've done a good job of that so far.
As Daniel Powers tries to find his fellow senior Dallas Gritton, ball's knocked away by DeShields. Part of that's something we haven't seen much of today is a defensive effort from DeShields. He's sort of been a little bit quiet on the defensive side, but a good attempt at a steal there. As Darden Uri, a strong drive and a nice kick to Trey Abel down low. He's guarded by Brown, but he put up a nice shot, and that's 2 points for the Conquerors. As Trey Dennis brings the ball up court, finds DeShields down low. And Parker, there it is again. He's able to body up the Conqueror defenders. Easy 2 points for Jamal there.
And I think one of the words I'd use to describe the Conquerors is soft. They're not trying to stop him, I don't think. I think someone was even a little bit scared of him.
As Uri looks down low and finds Trey Abel, his shot's off the mark. A strong rebound from Cole Walker, and he is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
Caleb, right there I saw some timid drives where it looked like, I guess, number 5 who's at the line right now.
Cole Walker,
yeah, he got the ball and he realized he was under the net, and it almost didn't look like he wanted to go up because he was scared of a Brown or a Jamal to stop him. And you can't have that attitude. You got to pretend you are the biggest guy on the court. And when you play like that, when you think that, you start to play like that.
Well, and now they sub in the senior Madison Norwood for Mason Gore. So now they've got 3 of their biggest players out there on the court in DeShields, Brown, and Norwood. They're going with a big lineup as they're up. The Lions are up 17, now 16, as Cole Walker makes his second free throw. 16-point lead for the Lions. 6:42 left to go in the third quarter as Norwood inbounds the ball to Trey Dennis. Dennis drives to his right, finds Norwood underneath the basket. His shot's off the mark, but a strong rebound there from DeShields, and he's got it up for 2.
And Caleb, DeShields has absolutely dominated on offensive rebounds tonight. We've seen, I bet his rebounds, he has plenty more on offense than he even does on defense, because there's really no one contesting on defense, but on offense, he goes up against the entire team and has gotten it. And as I say that, there's a block by DeShields.
And he looks to take this one coast to coast, but he finds Brown on the wing. His shot's off the mark. Norwood was fighting for it with Trey Abel. That's going to be Conqueror's ball coming our way. As now the freshman Samuel Reams is subbed in for Trey Dennis. And Reams has had a pretty good game here, Parker. He started in this game in place of Jordan Leak, who we've talked about, and he got 6 quick points off of 2 threes.
Yeah, Caleb, and I think he got a little bit excited after he made his first one, took about 2 or 3 that he missed, then got back in the rhythm of it, but then he was taken out. So we'll see if he's still on fire, still feeling it. Still got that freshman and fire in his blood trying to knock down these threes.
And an errant pass there from Dallas Gritton, the senior. He was trying to find a cutting Trey Abel. It just looked like he rushed the pass a little bit. It was off Abel's hands and out of bounds. As now Landon Burton brings the ball up court for the Lions. He finds DeShields down low, and DeShields takes it strong to the hoop, and that's 2 points for him. Now Darden Uri for the Conquerors tries to bring the ball up court, but before he does, his coach calls a timeout, a full timeout here. And Parker, we're going to go to a quick station identification.
Hey, this is Leonard Burton, varsity basketball player from Winston-Salem Christian School. You're listening to TriadSportsCoverage.com.
We have a full timeout called here by Coach Clay Walker of the Oak Level Baptist Academy Conquerors.
And Caleb, Jamal DeShields, topic of conversation tonight. He's clearly the man of the match. I think he's got just about everything. You know, he's incredible under the paint. He's got the size to play college point guard. He's done great at rebounding. He's done, great at assisting, even as we saw right there as he ran down the court. But I think something I want to see is I want to see him take some mid-range jumpers. I want to see him do that, as well as we talked about dunking just about every game, and I want to see him get a fast break and get a dunk. I want to see something exciting happen tonight. 20-point lead right now with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, and he's relying on his teammates for the defensive presence. He's been just about the entire offensive threat for the team, while his teammates like Mason Gore and Trey Dennis are the defensive presence here. As Uri with a strong drive, he gets a 2-point bucket. And now it's Burton for the Lions bringing the ball up the court. Looks DeShields' way, but he still got it at the top of the key. And a lazy pass there. Stolen away by Cole Walker. And Uri goes all the way to the other baseline to try and catch this ball. But his foot was out of bounds. The Lions are going to keep the ball. That was just a lazy pass there from Landon Burton, almost fully across court to Brown. And he televised it, and Cole Walker was almost able to capitalize on that. As Burton now finds Brown at the top of the three-point line. And he takes one step into the free throw line. It's 2 points.
Caleb right there is exactly what I'm talking about, where his jump shot's unblockable. He's already got about six inches on most of the guys, the ones who are guarding him at least.
And a strong steal there and a layup for Landon Burton, the senior. Averages about 4.3 rebounds and points per game. And good defensive effort there from Burton. As Uri kicks it wide to Flint. And a strong drive from Dallas Gritton, the senior. And he'll go to the line for two after a foul. Parker, one thing I want to note there is Justin Flint, the sophomore, had the ball on this side closest to us. He's about 5'7". And he blew right past Jamal DeShields. And like we've been talking about, DeShields can do just about anything he wants to offensively. But defensively, he just doesn't seem to care. And, that foul doesn't happen if Flint doesn't get past him and find Gritton open on the side. As he misses the first, makes the second. 45-24 here. Lions lead big with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. As Burton kicks wide to DeShields. Now underneath the hoop, the Lions lose it as Uri's pushing the ball the other way. A strong layup there from the sophomore Uri.
And I think sophomore does not describe the way he's been playing tonight. I think he's got a lot of senior potential under his skin, I guess, if you could even say. But he's dominating. He is the leader of this team, even as a sophomore.
Burton kicks wide to Reams. He's feeling it tonight. Leaves his hand up there for a little bit longer. He's got 9 points on 3 three-pointers.
He's got 9 points on 3 points, ladies and gentlemen. You heard from Caleb first.
Now as Uri tries to find Abel down low, but a strong steal there by number 11, Josh Hedges. He finds DeShields up ahead. And another bucket there for DeShields.
And DeShields wanted to yam that one. I think he got bad footing, and he went up, just missed it.
Uri finds Walker on the far side. Back up top now to Abel. Swinging the ball around. The Conquerors are looking to find something down low. As Cole Walker has it at the top of the key. He swings wide to Abel. Now they look to go down low. Jamal DeShields intercepts that pass. And they push the ball ahead to Reams, who's got an easy layup underneath the bucket. And that was a strong defensive presence there from DeShields. A quick play there to grab that inbounds ball and find Burton, who was able to push it ahead to Reams.
I think that's the first we've seen of that all night, where he really hasn't been doing much stopping. And as I say that right there, he gets beat a little bit on a burn pass.
And a strong drive there from the senior Gritton. Those layups off the mark. Uri almost steals the ball from Burton. He's not able to. as Jamal DeShield pulls up for a long three. Didn't really have a good look. He airballs it, but it's a battle for the rebound as Reams and Yuri fighting it out on the floor. A little bit too much contact there. The fans not happy about that one. It's going to be jump ball called underneath.
Hey, Caleb, the freshman is a little bit startled right now. He's walking around trying to shake it off. Yuri's already been in 2 scuffles tonight, so it looks like he is the common denominator. This will be an inbound pass for the Lions.
As Burton looks to find his twin brother, Logan. Logan kicks it up top, finds Willard, finds Reams. Reams, the freshman, is pumped up now. He's got 12 points after that three is good. And the Lions are fired up with a 55-26 lead over the Conquerors. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. As a senior, Dallas Gritton has it on the far side. His pass intercepted by Burton. His drive. It's going to be a blocking foul called on Yuri. As Burton with a strong drive there. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And Parker, I know we've mentioned it. There's only about 50 people in here, but we're in a small gym, and they're making a lot of noise, and that's definitely impacting the Lions. They go completely silent for the free throws, as you can hear behind us. But they're loud, they're pumped up, and I think the Lions are riding some of that momentum.
They are, and you see Yuri doing the three-point finger, shooting that to the ground like he is Steph Curry with the shot, boy. Whoop. Song reference. Drizzy Drake. Second free throws up. That one's rebounded out.
And a strong rebound there from Trey Abel of the Conquerors. He brings it down.
Yuri looked like he was about to pull up from about half court.
He thought about it. It wasn't open, as Abel now has it. Top of the key. Strong defense from Logan Burton. As the Conquerors find Cole Walker down low. Walker guarded by Reams. Abel at the top of the key. Kicks wide to Yuri. He airballs a three. It's going to be out of bounds off the Conquerors. Lions ball coming this way.
Caleb, again, I don't want to use the word soft because I already used it, but the Conquerors just look scared a little bit. It's like it's really like hot potato. Like, I don't want the ball. You take the ball. You take the ball. And then somebody gets down under, and they're just fearful, and they don't even want to try up and go up and draw the foul. You just gotta man up and take that. Just try to get down under.
It's just a mindset thing for the Lions here, for the Conquerors, as they just don't seem to want it, like you said. And an errant pass there by Mason Gore, the freshman who subbed back in, and the Conquerors now have it. A little bit too aggressive defense there from Gore as he fouls Yuri.
And Caleb, I don't know that Yuri's been subbed out this whole game so far. He's definitely leads both teams, I think, with the most minutes.
He's been a strong presence here for the Conquerors, as he has a great look from about half court all the way down underneath the basket, finds Trey Abel. His layup is up and good.
And we are 30 seconds until the end of this third period.
Mason Gore looks and finds Reams on the outside. He was looking to get his 15 points of the game there off that three, but his shot's off the mark. Conquerors come down with it now. The sophomore Justin Flint has it, guarded by Logan Burton. He finds Yuri, guarded by Gore. Strong defense there from the Lions. And Yuri, a little bit under pressure, just threw that ball straight into the stands. The student section is excited about that one. They got a chance to have the ball there.
And Caleb, that was the 5th turnover of the second half for the Conquerors. Again, keeping track of that. You just can't do that.
And as we mentioned before, the defensive pressure there from the Lions is a big part of it, as Coach Joey McKinney calls a 30-second timeout for the Lions. Parker, what is contributing to so many turnovers for Oak Level?
Well, Caleb, right there, the defense is just so strong on the Conquerors, where they really don't have that. They don't really have that much to do. They're looking for the pass. They're trying to find it, and they can't. And it's just like soccer, which you and I even played together. When you're pressured, you put your head down, you just sort of kick the ball, and you don't have that full awareness of where your players are, what's the best look, what's the best option. And right here, you see what's coming off of it. I think that's one of the main reasons these turnovers keep happening.
Yeah, the defensive pressure from the Lions is really causing the Conquerors to just rush the play, rush the pass, and they're not getting open looks. as Gore has it on the inbounds. A strong drive and a layup there as the Lions bench explodes in cheering.
And that was very Muggsy Bogues-esque.
Muggsy Bogues.
That's a hard thing to say. That was very like Muggsy Bogues, taking it all the way down. And you heard the court say, keep going. You heard the coach say, keep going, keep going. And he utilized it. He went all the way in.
And the little freshman there gets bombarded in the huddle as his coaches and his teammates are excited for him. He's finally rewarded offensively for his defensive pressure. We're going to go to a short commercial break here before we start the fourth quarter.
Hey, it's Big E, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western. We're Western.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at bibsdowntown.com.
Well, here we are at the start of the fourth quarter, final 8 minutes of this game. 30-point lead for the Lions, Caleb. And that has to do with turnovers, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, great possessions by the Lions in total.
Now we see strong defensive pressure from the Lions immediately coming out in this fourth quarter as Mason Gore with a steal. Wow, he wants that layup. Strong drive. He's fouled hard going to the hoop. And he's down. And now he gets up slowly. He took a hard foul there from number 25, Dallas Gritton. Got a little offensive trigger happy maybe.
He may have been milking that one just a little bit, just like the freshman right here.
Reams.
You know, 15 Reams. He hit 1 3. All of a sudden thinks he's Steph Curry or Ray Allen, and just like him, makes a great look, and all of a sudden he becomes Chris Paul or Michael Jordan in the lane, which is not always true. Sometimes those powers do come into you, but in this case, I'm going to say they don't.
As Gore makes the first, misses the second. It's good to see that those freshmen, though, are getting offensive opportunities and they're getting a little bit of confidence. The Conquerors have it now at half court as Yuri, guarded by Gore, finds Walker on the right wing. Strong pump fake there, and Yuri down low. He thought he was fouled. His layup's off the mark, and Willard now bringing it the other way for the Lions. He crosses up his defender, but he airballs it. And Josh Hedges is there for the rebound. Easy putback for 2.
And that air ball will count as an assist, I think, because he threw it right to his teammate. It looked like a swish because it just touched the net, and then his teammate got it.
Now Dallas Gritton has it on the near side. He's fouled by Willard. That was an intentional foul because Gore here seems to be injured. They're trying to bring him off. They're putting in Trey Dennis in for him as he seems to have been injured on that layup where he was fouled. So Coach McKinney told his players there to foul in order to get Gore off the court. Now the Conquerors have it. Cole Walker with it just inside the half-court circle. He finds Yuri, who's calling out orders to his teammates as he drives to his left. Looks for Daniel Powers, a senior, and a strong drive there for 2. And Trey Dennis, the junior, with his head up, wants to push the ball. He's slowed down now. Reams from the corner. His three's off the mark, and a rebound by Yuri. And again there we see a little bit of maybe false confidence from the freshman. You know, he's got 12 points off of 4 threes and a little bit trigger happy, but his coaches like what they're seeing as he is taken off the floor. And number 31, Jacob White, the freshman, will see his first action of the night as he subbed in for Reams. As White will inbound the ball to Trey Dennis.
And Caleb, that's something you don't usually see. Usually the freshman and sophomore on even a varsity team are somewhat oh, sorry. As I'm saying that, great play there. Looked like 32 was trying to get a down under, but could not.
And a strong offensive play by Madison Norwood. He was unable to get 2 points. As the Conquerors bring it the other way, is Daniel Powers on the left side. He's guarded by Willard. As Willard knocks it out of bounds, it's going to be Conquerors' ball, inbounding from underneath their own hoop. As Flint has it, he throws it in to number 20, the senior Daniel Powers. Powers got it at the top of the key. And now he's driving to his right, finds Walker, and tried to find Trey Abel down low. That ball was knocked away by Josh Hedges, recovered by the Conquerors as Flint now driving to his left, the top of the key, and an easy steal from Willard ahead to Dennis. He has to corral that ball as it was thrown a little bit too far in front of him, and now he's going to reset the offense. And a missed defensive assignment there as Dennis puts up a three off the mark. Josh Hedges, another strong rebound, and he's put it up for two. And that's part of a number of possessions in a row where Josh Hedges has just been in the right spot at the right time. He's been able to grab that board and convert it into points.
Caleb, I think Josh Hedges might be the sleeper MVP for the Lions, where we haven't mentioned his name a lot, and even if you're watching the game, he doesn't look like a standout, but he's had a lot of really good rebounds. And we've used the word rebounds a bunch of times tonight, but that's really been one of the defining characteristics of this game, and Josh Hedges has done an excellent job of it.
As number 3, the junior Billy Young subs in for the Conquerors as they're inbounding the ball from underneath their hoop after a defensive knockaway, takeaway by the Lions. Flint has it, finds number 23, Michael Minturn. His shot is off the top of the backboard and then rolls in, but the ref says it's out of bounds first. You know, the crowd wanted to give him that one. They thought it was an impressive shot to go off the top of the backboard and then in. Now Trey Dennis brings the ball up court. He finds Willard on the side. Back to Dennis at the top of the key. A strong screen from Norwood, and Dennis is able to get a jumper from the elbow.
Caleb, and this is a 35-point lead, largest lead of the night, with just under 5 minutes at 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game. Lions lead 65, Conquerors 30.
Cole Walker finds Michael Minturn, but he walks before he's able to do anything with the ball. And now we see Mason Gore and Isaiah Danchin subbing in for the Lions, as well as Samuel Reams. So the Lions looking here to get a lot of freshmen some playing time. Isaiah Danchin has only played in one game this year, and unfortunately leads the Lions in turnovers. But as a freshman, he's looking to get some more experience on the court. Gore has it now at the top of the key. Finds Danchin on the right. Reams in the bottom corner. Puts up a three. His shot's off the mark. It's going to be an over-the-back foul called on Jacob White, who was going for the rebound. The Conquerors had better position there.
Caleb, Reams is on fire. He thinks he's on fire. Let me rephrase that. He has tried to shoot the lights out tonight, and he has done a good job. But I think when you look at his percentages, the amount of shots he's made and taken don't quite latch up with what he's done.
A long three there from Walker is off the mark. The Lions come down with the rebound. Gore finds Jacob White on the far side. His three, no good. Conquerors come down with the rebound.
Caleb, and Jacob White, when he came into the game, the entire student section started chanting his name, and now the whole bench got on their feet when he took that three. I think he might be a team favorite.
Strong pass from Justin Flint to Trey Abel down low as he's able to convert for 2 points. Now Coach McKinney telling Gore to slow it down on the offense. Gore's pass is knocked out of bounds by Justin Flint. It's going to be Lions ball as number 10, Logan Burton, is subbed in for Madison Norwood. The Lions here going with a very small and very young lineup, but being up 33, 3 minutes, 42 seconds, they're able to do that.
Right, and Darden Uri now has been taken out of the game, and I don't know that we'll see any more of him tonight. Great game by him.
Burton down low finds Reams to a cutting Danchin, and a strong block there from the sophomore Justin Flint. He was on Danchin's back and just said, "No, sir," like a little Dikembe in there.
That is a welcome to high school basketball for that young fella.
As the Lions inbound the ball underneath their hoop, Reams pulls up for another three. This time it's an air ball, but Danchin collects the loose ball for the rebound.
And Cal, I'm willing to bet you dinner that if Reams gets the ball again, he's going to pull up and take that three no matter where he's standing on the court.
He seems to be able to shoot about anything. As Gore drives, kicks it out to Danchin. Back to Gore. He sees a shot he likes. A three, no good. Rebound Conquerors. Now as Justin Flint has it at the top of the key. At half court. Flint kicks it wide to number 12, Brandon Perry. Brandon Perry is actually a 7th grader who's playing up for the Conquerors. Nice to get him some experience in a game. Nathan Pirtle kicks it to Trey Abel, whose layup's off the mark. But he gets his own rebound, and Justin Flint now has it driving. He's going to be fouled by Reams. That foul is on the floor. 1-1 for the Conquerors.
As Hedges checks back into the game for Reams.
So, Parker, we see for the Lions, Mason Gore, a freshman in, Isaiah Danchin, a freshman, Josh Hedges, a junior. But then they've also got number 31, Jacob White, a freshman, and number 10, Logan Burton, a senior. So Logan Burton, the only senior out there, and they've got 3 freshmen. With 2:36 left to play in this game, it looks like the Lions are just going to ride this one out. As the Conquerors miss the first of a 1-1, rebound Lions, Mason Gore coming the other way with it now. And Hedges for 3. He's got it from the corner, and that excites the bench there, going crazy for Josh Hedges, who's had a great defensive and rebounding game.
And he hasn't stopped smiling either, Caleb.
He's happy to get that one and get some points on the board for the Lions as they're up 68-32. Big lead for them. Abel in the corner for the Conquerors. That's a good bucket for him.
And he answers with a 3.
And a steal there from number 25, Dallas Gritton, for the Conquerors. It's going to be Conquerors ball coming this way as number 34, Thomas Nelson, the 9th grader, subs in.
And with just over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in this game, Lions lead 68, Conquerors 34. And I'm not going to be surprised. They'll get to 70 points tonight.
There's a steal there, down low from Hedges. Gore pushes it ahead to Danchin. His pump fake, he traveled a little bit there. And we've mentioned sportsmanship. The sophomore, Justin Flint, saw what Danchin did. An embarrassing travel, but Flint, pats him on the back, says, "It's all good, brother." A little freshman mistake there as Flint brings the ball up court for the Crusaders. The Conquerors.
Crusaders, eh?
Something like that. Flint now finds Gritton underneath the hoop as he takes a falling layup. Parker, it looks like that shot was a little bit rushed.
No,
he didn't have position at all. And now what we see here is, it seems, a 3-point shootout as both teams playing sloppy ball, just looking for anything really. But Josh Hedges has it underneath. He's got 2 points now.
And Caleb, we can clearly see this has changed from a varsity game to a JV game. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. A lot of very just, why did you take that shot type looks, and a lot of overconfidence, maybe some overcompensation going on here.
A miss from 3 for Brandon Perry. Lions come down with the rebound. Now Danchin kicks it out to Jacob White, who passes to Gore at the top of the key. Danchin wants a look, but he passes to Burton, who passes back to Danchin. His 3's off the mark. And as we've said, it's just turned into a shooting fest here with 30 seconds left. A 36-point lead for the Lions, 70-34.
Right, it looks like the freshman Isaiah, he's had a block. I think he's had 2 air balls. Poor guy, he's out here trying. He's giving it all, and that's what really matters. But this is his welcome to high school basketball.
Well, they want to get him some experience, get him some time on the floor. As number 21, Nathan Pirtle, the junior for the Conquerors, will go to the line to shoot 2. 1-1.
A little bit of confusion there, 1-1, having to ask the scorer's table. They settle that, though. 1-1. First one's up, and that one is not in.
It's a strong bank there. And a rebound from Burton, who's fouled by number 21, Nathan Pirtle, the guy who shot it.
And not sure if the Conquerors have decided they're going to try to foul and stay in this game. There is no way, because with 26 seconds left, 70-34. That does not look like to be the case. Maybe that was just a freshman mistake as well.
As Gore pushes it now, finds White, who pulls up from deep in the 2 range.
And Caleb, he really wants it, and his team really wants him to just get 1, 2, I don't care how many points it is. And he wants to, and you can see him shaking his head, walking down the court. And you know what, maybe there's just a little bit of talent left in this gym for him to get those points tonight.
Michael Merton now pushes it for the Conquerors. Number 34, Thomas Nelson, pulls up from 3. Shots off the mark. Gore pushes it to find Danchin. from 3. Buzzer beater. He gets it. As the crowd goes wild, the bench goes wild.
She's right there.
Coach Joey McKinney set Danchin up to cherry pick on this end so that when the Lions got the rebound, he could get Danchin a shot. And Danchin buries the 3 at the buzzer.
And you know the whole team is loving that right there, where he had 2 air balls, a block, as we were saying. Oh, gosh, didn't know quite what he was playing. And right there, sets it up, splashes it. I don't even know if they're going to count it. But regardless, 73 win.
To 37 as the Lions win big over Oak Level Baptist Conquerors. And that was a way to end the game. The student section came running over here. They were all pumped. Everyone was excited for the freshmen there.
Yeah, Caleb, that's definitely the most exciting play we've seen all year, where you've got to love that. The whole team was standing up the whole night just going, yes, 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 getting so excited. And then finally to get to sit there and splash it. What a great play. What a great play.
We're going to go to a quick station identification and bring you some post-game comments after this.
Hi, this is Miranda McKinney, Athletic Director at Winston-Salem Christian School, and you're listening to TriadSportsCoverage.com.
Well, Caleb, to start off with, I think there's a lot of things we have to look at right here. From my count, there was 12 turnovers tonight by the Conquerors, and that was a problem. You know, that led to a lot of points, and I think 12 turnovers right there, that probably led to at least 24 points, if not more, including 3s and 2s as well. So, Caleb, turnovers, that was a knife in the back, I thought.
Well, and that was caused by strong defense there. As out on the court, the senior Jordan Leak has been wheeled out on there shooting some honorary shots after his broken ankle. But defensive pressure from the Lions was what contributed to all those turnovers. We've got Josh Hedges here, the junior. He's going to get on the headset and have a little interview here.
Josh, what's up? Parker Southern.
What's up, man?
Great game tonight, dude.
Thanks.
I saw you when you hit that 3 down here. You were all smiles the whole way back down. Even a little bit, I saw you playing defense. You were all smiles. Dude, how did that feel?
I normally don't shoot threes, so
right.
That was felt good.
I could tell by the reaction of your teammates that when you hit it, they were all shooting the threes out of there, hitting their heads. Coach was happy for you. I know it's got to be fun. So, you know, being 6-5 going to this boosts you out up to 7-5. I know y'all got some tough games the rest of this the season, of course. How does this change your outlook? You know, going in after a huge win like this.
You know, I guess it just makes us more confident in our way we play the game.
Right.
So hopefully we'll be more confident in our next game.
Well, and Caleb and I, we were talking tonight during the game. I thought maybe like the word I would use is like the sleeper MVP, where you were getting a lot of rebounds, and even though if you're just watching the game, you weren't necessarily the huge standout, but when you actually looked at the statistic and watched your play, you were getting some major rebounds both offensively and defensively, and I thought that was a huge contribution. So
thank you.
That was definitely awesome. And thoughts on that last play of the game? What an awesome way to end it.
That was probably the best way we could have ended this game.
I'm guessing he's just a freshman on the team. He doesn't get as many minutes, and that's awesome to see him knock that down.
Yeah.
Which we were talking. He had a couple of welcome to varsity basketball moments. A little block, it looked like, right down under here.
Yeah.
And about 2 air balls. But,
he
man.
He was 100% from the floor. He didn't miss a shot tonight.
Oh, and I'm getting right now the Hedges was 100% from the floor tonight. So if that's not a statistic to take home to mom and dad, I don't know what is. But are we going to talk to you, Joey, as well?
I think so for a second.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Josh,
right.
Thanks so much. Good luck
Thanks,
with the
man.
rest of your season.
Thanks.
Not the lead yet.
And here's Caleb, who's going to interview Joey.
Coach, a strong win tonight for your team. What were y'all able to do successfully?
I just felt like we were able to actually capitalize on the fundamentals of the game tonight. We were able to hit the low post early. We isolated Jamal and Jacob in the low post, took advantage of our size, made good entry passes, made smart decisions with the ball, and that kind of trickled down to everything else. But obviously our defense stepped up pretty big tonight too.
Well, and you mentioned defense, a huge defensive presence there from the freshman Mason Gore.
Yes.
What do you sort of put him in there for? Is that just a defensive spark, or?
Well, Mason is a guy that it was strategically planned to get him in more, especially after losing Jordan Leak last night. You all may have seen him with in the wheelchair. He broke his ankle last night. So we knew somebody else had to take those minutes. And we looked at Mason, and we always know that we're going to get, high impact, high intensity defense out of him. And that got him his time on the court tonight. He really thrived.
And Jordan is the third highest scorer on the team. Do you think that you all compensated well for his loss tonight?
Tonight we did. Last night after the injury happened, we didn't. Which, of course, in the moment, that shell shocks everybody. I'm just hoping that these guys can run it into a series of games here with everybody really contributing. I hope it's just not a one-time wonder, a one-hit wonder tonight, and then we come out on Tuesday and only get one guy in the scorer's box. But hopefully this is on to something here.
And what do you need to do going forward to do just that, to have every night be an on night?
I think it just starts in practice. We got to work hard and work on the fundamentals and stay encouraging to one another, and our coaching staff's got to stay on them, and we just got to work hard.
Well, congratulations on a great win tonight, Coach.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you all for doing it. Appreciate it. Is that good?
Yep.
All right, thank you all.
As head coach Joey McKinney of the Winston-Salem Christian School Lions, post-game comments there. And Parker, we heard him talk about they've got to have everyone clicking every night in order to be successful.
Well, Caleb, one thing, I was looking at some of the good aspects here. You were talking about how freshmen, they're usually not confident. You look at a freshman on any basketball team, and he comes in, and he's a little bit skittish might be the word. He's a little bit timid. And tonight, there was a role reversal where the freshman tonight, especially Reams, taking as many threes as he did, yes, but more importantly, the way he was playing, it was just he was after it. He was on fire, and that's something that every coach loves to see.
Right, and a strong effort there from a lot of players on the team, like Gore. Reams had a lot of good defensive plays as well. And it is nice to see that, with Jordan Leak being injured, they're being able to get younger players involved and get those guys minutes so that, if something were to happen, more injuries occur, those guys aren't coming into the game completely cold turkey. They've got some experience. And that's a huge contribution to the team. They were up big late in the game, and so they're able to do that. But that's a big thing come late in the season when those guys who don't have as much experience are able to go in the game and be comfortable.
Right, and I think to move over to the Conquerors, they were exactly the opposite of what we described the freshmen as, where they were timid and they did not at any point want to try to make a presence down low. They did not want to try to say, hey, we are going to challenge you, we are going to contest you, and if it means taking some smart fouls, by all means, we'll have to do it. And I just saw a lack of that tonight, and I think that over rebounds, over points and possessions, their overall just timid defense was the main fall tonight. I think that's really what killed them.
Well, and the Conquerors don't have a player like Jamal DeShields who's able to just completely physically dominate everybody else. And, not that they were completely outmatched skill-wise, but, like you said, there's just a lack of effort there. And even if Jamal DeShields is out of this game, I think that the Lions still come away with a win just because I felt like they wanted it more. And they showed that. But a strong effort from Darden Uri, who was all over the place both defensively and offensively. He was able to get a lot of looks. He was able to facilitate a lot of the offense. And not all negatives for the Conquerors, who now fall to 3-9 overall as the Lions improve to 7-5. But a good win tonight for the Lions.
But, Caleb, honestly, highlight of the night, Isaiah Danchin, as you mentioned, has only played in one game. He leads the team in turnovers per game, and tonight he ended the game with a buzzer beater three that he had tried all night, had not been able to miss here in the last fourth quarter. But the point I want to take away, great support from the starters. These young guys were on the court, and as I said, it looked like JV, and yet they were all standing up, they were all smiling, they were all cheering them on, and I think they would have done it no matter what the score was.
Right, and getting the whole team involved, getting the fans involved, it's good to see here tonight. So we thank you for joining us live from Winston-Salem at College Park Baptist Church as the Winston-Salem Christian School Lions win big over Oak Level Baptist Academy Conquerors here on TriadSportsCoverage.com.